Hello again and welcome to Golden West College Football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. And on the penultimate Saturday of this 2025 regular season, the Rustlers conclude their home schedule with a date with the College of the Canyons Cougars. Cougars come in with a record of 3-5 on the season, and for the first time since 2022, they are staring down a season that will not include a postseason appearance. But for fans of the Cougars that have been watching this year, this is definitely a season of what might have been for the Cougars, who started out losing 5 of their first 6 games of the season. The first 3 losses of the season for the Cougars were by a combined 9 points. And how tough has the schedule been for the Cougars? The 5 losses this season for the Cougars have come against teams with a combined record of 32 wins and just 8 losses. So tight losses to very good teams, and a season of what might have been for the Cougars. But one last chance for College of the Canyons to salvage a big win here. Wouldn't it be nice for the Cougars to upset the apple cart here in Huntington Beach and knock off the undefeated Rustlers, who themselves are right in the middle of the chase for the Central Division Championship that is still very much in doubt. Cerritos and Fullerton currently Cerritos 4-1 in conference play. Fullerton still undefeated at 5-0 right alongside the Rustlers. So a lot still in doubt, and a lot of football for the Rustlers here of huge import coming up, starting with a date here today against a very talented College of the Canyon squad. Going to step aside for the national anthem, come back for football. The Rustlers won the toss and have elected to defer, so we will see the Cougar offense first. Golden West continuing their stellar play with a hard-fought win last Saturday against a very tough Cerritos Falcons squad. It was a 27-19 win for the Rustlers to stay perfect, 8-0 on the season. The Cougars, after that 1-5 start, have won their last two to move their record to 3-5 as they finally got something of a respite in their gauntlet of a schedule that has seen them take on the likes of Fullerton and Cerritos, but also in non-conference play, dates with Riverside, El Camino, Southwestern, all postseason bound this season. Over the last couple of weeks, a victory at East Los Angeles College, and then a win at home over Orange Coast, but those wins were far from easy. A 14-10 win against East Los Angeles back on the 18th, and last week, a nail-biter as they survive and keep the Pirates winless on the season, but 20-19 the final score in that one as the Pirates nearly made the trip up and tripped up the Cougars. But 2 wins in a row and a flag before the first snap will back College of the Canyons up 5 yards. They'll start from the 20, where it'll be 1st and 15. Penalties have not been a huge problem for the Cougars this season, committing just 8 penalties a game for a little over 71 yards per game. But they cost themselves 5 yards at the outset here today, and a first down handoff to Isaiah Rameau. And Rameau not going to find much room, just got back to the line of scrimmage. And Rameau will shoulder the great majority of the outset here today, and a first averaging nearly 20 carries a game over the last 6 weeks is Rameau, as he is 3rd in the SCFA in rushing yards at 722 yards for the season, but he will have as tough a challenge as you can find here in the state of California, the 3C2A level, going against this Rustler defense, and indeed finds no running room on his first carry. And a quick sack on a 2nd down play. No chance for Giselle Riley. Giselle Riley comes in completing just 44% of his passes on the season, but he is a dual threat with over 400 yards rushing for the year. But that time the Rustlers able to quickly get on top of him. The sack backs Canyons up 5 more yards, and they're quickly in a huge hole with a 3rd and 20 from their own 15-yard line. On the season, Canyons converting at just 32% on 3rd down, and this is at the toughest end of the spectrum in terms of 3rd down situations. They face a 3rd and 20. Dual setbacks, 4 Riley receivers left and right. Play action and a quick toss out in the flat. Modest gain on the play, certainly well shy of first down yardage. The completion to Mims, the leading receiver on the season. Jared Mims, the freshman out of Mission Hills. And not much running room for Mims, as he is immediately swallowed up after a pickup of 3. Wheeler moving over on the stop along with John Bivens. Couple of yards on the completion, and we'll see the Canyons punting unit on a quick 3 and out for the Rustlers. And Rustlers on paper figure to be the favorite here today, but there's got to be some level of concern, as it is difficult not to think about the upcoming schedule. And a week from today, a date at Fullerton College against the 7-1 Hornets, who right now are in a tie with Golden West atop that Central Division standings. Both teams 5-0. And so no matter the result here today, next week is going to decide the Central Division Championship. But the Rustlers, no doubt, need to and want to take care of business here today. And they get off to a good start with a quick 3 and out. Completion to Schmidt, coming off the monster performance in the win against Cerritos a week ago. 9 catches for 177 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Near the first down marker on the completion from Kamaka Iva Ole. And in our season-long pursuit of pronouncing Oa's name correctly, we're now getting another update, and apologies again, but I believe now we have it at Kamaka Iva Ole. And the give straight ahead. Mitchell on the carry on the second and short. Will move the chains. 3-yard run. And a fresh set of downs at the 49-yard line. The Rustlers came away with good field position after pinning the Cougars deep on the opening series. So they have it near midfield. 1st and 10 just underway. Rustler football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com on a beautiful fall day for football here in Huntington Beach. Game time temperature 63 degrees. Just a hint of wind. Should warm slightly as the game progresses, but not an expectation in any increase in wind, so great conditions both on the field and surrounding the field for those of us watching. 2nd and 8. After a 2-yard run, Mitchell remains in the backfield, bunch formation for the Rustlers. 4-man rush. Owa going to step up, breaks a tackle. That will allow him to pick up the first down as he slides down just inside the Canyons 40. Well, they'll spot it at the 40, but Owa able to shed a tackle and pick up 9 yards. Another first down for Golden West. And they'll slow it down, clock moving, 10:35 and counting, remaining in the opening quarter. And the snap to Owa. Mitchell gonna juke to his right now, finds a lane. Working behind the right side of that offensive line. He's down near the first down marker again, following Lihanu Atuatasi. Grant Walker on the right side, moving the pile. But that starts with good feet from Mitchell, as Aaron Mitchell initially stymied, but able to bounce it to his right and pick up 10 yards and another first down. Rustlers on the move. This drive started back at their own 37-yard line. They have it to the Cougars 30. Read option, and Owa slides down after a pickup of about 7, just down in front of Oscari Tuihala. They'll give him just 4 yards on the slide, so a 2nd and 6. 4 wide receiver set. Blitz coming, good protection. Over the middle, juggling and caught for a touchdown. Finding Dom Thompson, and the first touchdown on the season for the sophomore out of Irvine. As Kamaka Iva Ole threads it through, let's watch down at field level, just beating the coverage, and Thompson with the concentration. Bobbles, but secures, and the Rustlers quickly on the board. Extra point up and good for Aaron Ivankovic. And Ivankovic, who came on last week in the rotating group of kickers for the Rustlers this season, converts on the extra point. We've seen Mateo Zavala. We have seen Max Riggs, and now we see Aaron Ivankovic. And for the Rustlers, in a season where little, arguably nothing, has gone wrong, if there is a question mark, it is in the kicking game, where there has been something of a struggle. And now it's Ivankovic that is stepping into a larger role. Nonetheless, he punches it through, and the Rustlers have the 7-0 lead on the touchdown pass from Kamaka Iva Ole to Dom Thompson. And for the Cougars, not how they wanted to start. High end-over-end kick taken at the 12 and out to the 28-yard line. 16-yard return for Canyons. They have struggled somewhat in the return game, just over 18 yards per return as a team. But this time, with a little help from a relatively short kick. They will start at the 29, better field position for their second possession. The first one went decidedly in the wrong direction with a penalty and a sack. And a quick 3 and out ultimately. So we'll see Riley. The Cougar offense on. Well, if they're going to have any success today, you have to imagine that they're going to have to be able to get Isaiah Rameau going on the ground. And a quick throw again for Mims, but he is quickly swallowed up by Josh Clark. This is going to be a loss on the play. Second catch for Mims, but nothing doing on either catch. And see the thinking for the Cougars, want to try and get the ball out into space quickly, but that is so tough to do against this Rustler defense that is just unbelievably quick, sideline to sideline. Been covering the Rustlers for several years and can scarcely remember a team that's been able to get much going east-west against this Rustler defense. Nick Mitchell has his defense flying to the ball game after game, year after year. And now Riley hit as he throws. This one's going to be picked off. Brandon Soleau inside the 10, cuts it back. He'll take it in for a touchdown. 8th defensive touchdown on the season for this Rustler defense. They have made huge plays all year long. And again here today, you see the pressure on Riley. Hit as he went to throw, and that one just hanging in the air for Soleau, who finds running room down that near side and in for the touchdown. And I believe, to double check the stat, but Soleau is also the 8th different defensive player with a touchdown this season. So the Rustler defense coming up with the huge play. 8:07 remaining in the opening quarter, and the Rustlers flying out of the gate. They lead at 14-0 here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Rustlers set to kick it away. Well, after Canyon struggled on the opening possession to the tune of a quick 3 and out, losing yardage, you thought, well, it can't get worse than that, but unfortunately for Cougar fans, it can, and it did. As the turnover on the interception by Soleau and the pick 6 extends the lead. And right away, the Cougars gonna have to make some quick adjustments, get something going. Here it's getting late early. We're still midway through the first quarter. And the lead now 14-0. And I think of significant concern for the Cougars is the pressure that the Rustlers are getting on Giselle Riley. On the first 2 possessions, setting up the screen, that one tipped and hanging in the air. Fortunately for Canyons, it falls incomplete. A little too much heat on the throw. Trying to slip this one underneath, and it was a crowded area looking for Camden. Paul Camden, who does step in for Isaiah Rameau as the primary backup. Again, Rameau, one of the workhorses in the entire SCFA, with 120 carries on the season, coming into action today, but Camden will come in and spot him. Second down carry, And again, hit at the line and brought down Soleau in the backfield along with Clark. Part of that sensational trio of linebackers for the Rustlers. Clark, Wheeler, and Soleau, all returning sophomores. It just makes the Rustlers so tough in all phases. They are incredibly difficult on which to run the ball. Opposing offenses averaging just over 86 yards a game, 2.7 yards a carry against this Rustler defense. And so far, the Cougars struggling to even get that. 3rd and 10 for Canyons at the 25. 4-man rush, deep drop for Riley, has time, still looking. Now starts to move at the 30 and brought down at the 32 by Clark. Mentioned that Riley is dangerous running the ball. Good coverage in the secondary, and Riley eventually goes to the run but picks up 7 yards. Good 4 yards shy of the first down marker, and we will see the punting unit once again. Second punt for William Strike, who comes in averaging a little over 38 yards a kick on the season. Low snap, but Strike gets it away. Good kick. Schmidt will make the fair catch at the 29-yard line. 40 yards on the punt, no return. And the Rustlers will go back on offense. Leading at 14-0, 6:32 remaining in the opening quarter. Rustlers went 63 yards on their opening drive for a touchdown before the defensive touchdown on the interception by Soleau. Wind picking up after I said it wouldn't. I'm no weatherman. Kendrick Thomas in the backfield with Kamaka Eva Ole out in the flat, and the catch by Thomas. What a move. Now past the 30, tripped up near the 35. Eventually brought down by Datavius Bledsoe after the move on Adam Geekins. Geekins, the second leading tackler on the season for the Cougars, part of an outstanding duo of safeties, Geekins and Xavier Perry. But Thomas with the nifty move picks up 6 yards, leaves a 2nd and 4. Back to Thomas, running right, looking for the edge. Flags are down. Second effort for Thomas near the first down marker after he was pretty well stacked up near the sideline. But I expect that this is coming back. See, this is strung out pretty well. See Mylan Walker getting in there, but somehow Thomas did work his way free, but all for naught, as the holding call will back it up for the Rustlers. Back to their own 25, 2nd and 14. Chance for College of the Canyons to get a defensive stop, perhaps gain some measure of momentum in the first quarter. That has been all Golden West. Oh, over the middle, and it's dropped. Well, that is a rare sight indeed, as Schmidt starts to make a move and loses the handle, and it leaves a 3rd and 14. It's over here settling down, and yeah, Schmidt just a look away before he had it. Schmidt, the leading receiver on the season. And you just can't say enough about the performance a week ago against Cerritos, as Schmidt not only torched the Falcons for almost 200 yards receiving in the game, but also, for those who might not have seen it, absorbed a wicked hit in the fourth quarter on a kick return from Rocky Jack. But Schmidt, who would have been well within logic to perhaps call it a day after taking such a big hit, not only made his way off the field, but returned on the final possession for the Rustlers and came up with a huge conversion. His final catch ultimately extended that final drive and slammed the door on the Falcons, denying them one last chance to tie it up. So Schmidt, who had been denying the Falcons an opportunity to win the game all day, ultimately dealt the final blow after that big hit, showing unbelievable toughness, comes back on the field and makes the big catch to convert and deny the Falcons that last chance in an outstanding ball game a week ago. Here in Huntington Beach, a 27-19 win for the Rustlers. 4:45 after the kick by Stock takes it back to the 27. So the Cougars do get the stop. They force the 3 and out. And back on offense, still down 14-0. Again, they try up the middle and nothing doing. The interior of that defensive line. Well, the Rustlers stuffing that play at the line. And a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Makai Sagiao, the returning sophomore from Huntington Beach, just plugs up the middle. And no room for Ramo. And a 2nd and 10, and the Cougars have not run the ball for positive yardage yet today, as we wind down toward 4 minutes to go in the first quarter that I can recall. There was the run on the scramble by Riley for 6 yards over the middle, open receiver, and a first down. First down for the Cougars on the completion from Riley to Christian Abunayan. And the sophomore secures it for a first down. And for the first time today, the Cougars are on the move out to their own 43. Well, the good stand from the defense does gain you a measure of momentum. And now the Canyon offense looks to keep it going. Already down 14. Back to Ramo. Trying the left side, and swallowed up for a loss on the play. Zeph Mesa, Blake Vincent quickly knifing through. Mesa, who's been so instrumental in the pass rush, the co-leader for the Rustlers on the season with 2.5 sacks. But that time, knifing through on the run play. Loss of a yard and a 2nd and 11. As Riley looks over the Rustler defense. 3 wide receivers. Rustlers start to show blitz. Here they come. And the read option. And it's Riley who makes a little move into Rustler territory. Now it's a foot race. Riley gonna take it to the house. 58 yards for Giselle Riley on a beautifully executed read option. And Ramo pays a huge price as he absorbs a big hit from Kakama Kozma. And that frees up Riley and makes a move at midfield and then flashes the Jets, outrunning the Rustler secondary. 58 yards for Giselle Riley. That nearly a season long. A season long 59 yards. So he comes up a little short there, but he'll take it. His 9th rushing touchdown on the season. So we said at the outset that Riley, definitely a dual threat. And that time able to get to the Rustler defense with a big run of 58 yards. And here come the Cougars. Extra point from Asadi up and good. 2:09 remaining in the opening quarter. And it's back to a ball game. 14-7 Golden West on top on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Not often that the Rustler defense burned on a big run, but Riley goes 58 yards. Saw on the replay, just a great move on Tatum Rogers. That freed him up and turned that from about 7 or 8 yards into 58 yards. As the speed of Riley did the rest after the move. Touchback on the kickoff, and we'll see the Rustler offense from the 25. And now it is the Rustler offense that will look for a response. As Kamaka Eva Ole brings the Rustler offense onto the field. Thomas will continue in the backfield. Pistol formation, and the give to Thomas running right, cuts it back. Brought down just shy of the 30. 4 yards for Thomas, and a 2nd and 6 coming up. Dante Medley able to wrap him up. There you see the strength of Medley. Stalling the forward momentum of Thomas, bringing him back at the 29, 2nd and 6. 0 of 4 of 5 early. Throwing the football, he'll look to throw here on the right side. Catch is made, but a gain of a couple will leave a 3rd and 4. First catch for McKissick. 2nd leading receiver on the season. Will McKissick, tight end with his 18th reception on the season. Quickly wrapped up as Coy Mortensen was there. Limiting McKissick to 2 yards. Brings up a 3rd and 4. And a big 3rd down early for the Rustlers. Now leading by just 7. Looking over the middle, and the pass incomplete. And another quick 3 and out. Looking for David Daniels and the Cougar defense with another quick stop. Will get it back for their offense. Just under a minute to go in the opening quarter. Well, we alluded to it briefly. The Rustlers, the challenge here this week, as they have that massive game coming up next week. I don't want to say the words trap game, but sometimes the schedule can create an interesting challenge. As again, no matter what happens here today, that game next week will be for the Central Division Championship. Of course, a big contest coming up later today. Cerritos hosting Fullerton. Right now, the Hornets 5-0 in conference play. And the Falcons at 4-1 after the loss here last week. Canyons, for their part, now 3-2 in conference play after going winless in non-conference action. With a couple of wins over the last couple of weeks. They're up to 3-5 on the season, but 3-2 in the Central. Blitz coming on first down, running room for Rameau. Tripped up shy of the first down marker. Gain of about 7. Going straight ahead following sophomore Dustin Disney. And for the first time today, as Mills comes up for the stop, the Cougars able to get something going on a handoff to Isaiah Rameau. 7 yards, 2nd and a short 3. Cougars don't have to run another play. Down to 4 seconds. And they are going to let the first quarter run out. Through 1. Golden West on top 14-7. You are watching Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Second down and 2 as we start the second quarter. Canyons has it at their own 41. Riley back on with Rameau in the backfield. Receivers left and right on a second and short. Rameau trying to bounce it outside, but he's going to be hit and brought down for a loss on the play. Soleil into the backfield quickly, but it was ultimately was second effort. Well, so many names in there, but Soleil was there, but saw Caleb McCutcheon tracking that play as well. Another outstanding linebacker for the Rustlers. A loss of 2, and it's third and a short 4. And Shin College of the Canyons converting on third down at 32% on the season. They're 0 of 2 today. This one's certainly more manageable than they've seen. This a 3rd and 4 from the 40, needing to get just beyond the 43. Rustlers crowding the line. Here they come. Play action. Riley sets it, fires it. It's intercepted down the far sideline. Taden Rogers. Rogers reaching out for the pylon. No signal yet. Down inside the 1. Well, there is a measure of redemption, certainly for Taden Rogers, who was one of the defenders who was beaten on the sensational run by Riley for the Cougar touchdown. But that time, tracking that pass from the outset, covers a lot of distance, and he is locked in. Makes the tremendous interception and then has running room down the far side. Good hustle to keep Rogers out of the end zone by the Cougars, but the Rustlers are inside the 1, so on the doorstep they'll come in with Mitchell as Owa will work under center. And Golden West on another huge play defensively will extend the lead. Mitchell off tackle on the right side, gets in for the touchdown. Golden West now plus 13 turnover differential on the season and has been the case all year. Big plays on defense telling the story for Golden West. Rogers, the sensational interception, and Mitchell punches it in. And now Golden West an extra point away from stepping back out to that 14-point cushion. No good on the extra point. So Ivankovic, for the first time, misses on an extra point, and the Rustlers will settle for a 13-point lead. 20-7, early second quarter on SoCalCollegeSports.com. That has got to be a blow for College of the Canyons after they were fighting their way back into this one after being blitzed early, literally and figuratively. Quickly down 14-0, but a couple of stops defensively, starting to move the football offensively. But as has been the case all year long, at the moment that you start to perhaps get something going against this Rustler team, here comes an opportunistic defense to make another massive play. And the interception by Rogers creates the ridiculously short field as he returns it inside the 1. And from there, Mitchell, not to be denied, in for the touchdown for Mitchell, his 4th rushing touchdown on the season. As it comes from a yard out. And the Rustlers now lead it 20-7. And Canyons will once again have to regroup. Down 13, here comes Riley with Rameau in the backfield. Well, with that run by Riley, he is now a massive favorite to post the most rushing yards against Golden West this season. Again, the most that anyone has had this year so far is 58 yards for C.J. Bozeman. For Allen Hancock. That in a big Rustler win anyway, but the run by Riley does perhaps put him in position for that title. Nonetheless, that has been the lone highlight for College of the Canyons. A 2nd and 9 after a 1-yard run. 2 wide receivers to the left. And Rameau straight ahead, stood up, driven back. Wheeler there quickly, getting a little help from Colt McCready. And Rameau again denied any running room. A loss of a yard, and quickly Canyons facing a 3rd and 10, still looking for their first 3rd down conversion, as we are joined by SoCal College Sports executive producer Mike Spada. And Mike, we've been talking a little bit about something that I'm sure you're aware of, and it's the type of thing we tend to notice, nerds that we are, that this had a little danger in that when you look at the schedule for the Rustlers with this game, with such a huge game pending next week against Fullerton. But, well, the Rustlers, they are focused once again, and they have the lead here in the second.
Jeff, you make a great point. Talk about College of the Canyons. You know, this is a team that put up 50-plus versus Riverside earlier in the year, and obviously Riverside maybe defensively a little down this year, but you look at that number, obviously there's a lot of talent over there. Yeah. We're familiar with Coach Ted Iacetta and his program. Canyons just does a great job all around, really mentoring their players, developing them as students and men. And, you know, it's just one of those years where sometimes the ball doesn't really fall your way. And
yeah, we talked about at the top that this is a team that has been to the postseason the last 2 years. They were in the playoffs in 2021. This is the team that Golden West played.
That's right.
In the SCFA semifinals.
That's right.
And their undefeated season until they ran into Riverside back in 2021. But obviously a lot of success in this program. But again, boy, talk about in an alternate universe what might have been. They start out 0-3, losing the 3 games, College of the Canyons, by a combined 9 points against 3 teams that are 19-5 on the season. So not just 3 losses by 9 points, but against 3 teams well on their way to the postseason. Once again, all 3 teams. So this is maybe a bounce here or there away from Canyons being on their way back to the postseason. Inside screen and a pickup of about 9 will leave a 2nd and short.
I mean, this has trap game written all over it. You have the regular season finale next week at Fullerton. So, you know, I think if you go back to last year, I think the Mesa game was a bit of a trap game, although Mesa was very good last year. But I think the Rustlers, with a slow start in that one, really didn't do themselves any favor early on, getting going later. But I don't think they're going to make that same mistake this year. There's
no question that the 3-5 record is arguably misleading. Into the secondary, first down and more. Schmidt into Cougars territory, but again, just a brutal schedule for College of the Canyons this season, and a number of close losses as Schmidt working that quick slant over the middle with the reception. First down for the Rustlers at the Canyons 35. Meanwhile, Owa 7 of 9 for 73 yards and a touchdown. Just another efficient performance from Owa. Gunning it over the middle, completes to Thompson, who had the touchdown catch earlier. 26-yard touchdown reception. His 2nd catch here in the first half is good for another first down. As Kamaka Eva Ole flashes the arm strength, squeezing that one into Thompson at the 28. A gain, I should say the 23, a gain of 12. Moves the chains, good protection. Owa looking deep into the end zone, wanted Schmidt, or I should say back to Thompson, and it's incomplete. Dylan McIntosh had good coverage, brings up a 2nd down and 10. Let's watch as Owa had all kinds of time, but the coverage was good on Thompson, and it brings up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Owa, Kamaka Vivo Ole. Didn't start the season. I believe he was injured in the preseason.
Yep.
And was it week 4 or week 3 that he came back? I think in the win at Bakersfield.
He played sparingly over the first couple of weeks, but I think was coming back from injury. But it was another freshman, Noah Banua, who stepped in and did a great job.
Yeah.
Obviously winning all of his starts as well. But you look at Banua's numbers, 58%, 11 touchdowns against just 3 interceptions. So the two-headed monster at quarterback has certainly done the job for the Rustlers, who are undefeated coming into play today. The 8-yard run leaves a 3rd and 2 as the Rustlers move into the red zone, where they have been among the best this season. The touchdown percentage at 81% in the red zone is good for 2nd in the entire SCFA.
Yeah, Kamaka Vivo Ole, who we affectionately call Owa, as he goes by in the team. This is a player, a lot of talent, obviously, but you see the progression in terms of how comfortable he is, even though he's sacked right there. Man, what a classic announcer jinx on that one.
Yeah, right.
But
Dante Medley among the first to get there.
Jeff, even though he takes a sack there, actually, I think he picked up a yard.
Yeah, it was a 3rd and 2 and a decision for Nick Mitchell.
Okay.
Yeah, he was starting to tuck it and run. The coverage was good.
Okay, so it is going to go down as a sack, but that's a situation there. You talk about the development of the player, and Owa doesn't throw into double coverage, doesn't make a mistake, takes care of the ball. He takes the L on the play in terms of taking the sack, but
just 1 interception on the season for Owa in over 100 pass attempts. Zavala on to attempt the field goal. He has struggled this season converting on just 1 field goal so far, but that one is up and good. And certainly that has to be a big confidence boost for Mateo Zavala, who hits his first field goal since back in week 1, but he drilled that one. And it pushes the Rustler lead to 23-7, 8:04 remaining in the first half. It's Golden West College football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. The kick away and angling toward the far sideline and out of play. And, well, obviously Golden West, a good spot here. You got the 23-7 lead, but against the Canyons team that has struggled to get much going in the return game, boy, no need. I don't think the way that the Rustlers have been able to defend in terms of kick coverage on the season to take such a sharp angle, and they run the risk, and it's out of bounds, and it'll be good field position for the Cougars. I believe that's one of those coaching moments that we always talk about.
Absolutely. Well, Jeff, coaches often talk about being solid in all 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams. And, so often have we seen throughout our years in coverage of SCFA football throughout the state of California, special teams plays a factor. And you have to shore that up. It's late in the season, and those are the little things that could lose you a chance at a title.
Yeah, obviously the stakes go way up, and Rameau hit at the line. Javon Taylor leading the charge. And again, no running room. And that was Camden getting the carry, but he lost a yard. 2nd and 11. Clock moving, 7:44 remaining in the second quarter.
Gobbled up. Will McKissick thinking Thanksgiving early.
Snap to Riley. Quick throw, and the catch is made. pickup of about 7, takes it to the 41, or I should say, no, it's going to be just, 7 yards to the 41. So it'll leave a 3rd and 4. As he finds Cole Crawford, first reception for Cole Crawford. And for Canyons, they lose Joseph Sines, one of the outstanding receivers who's played just 3 games on the season, and in those 3 games has 17 receptions. So one of the big offensive weapons, for the most part, hasn't been available to them for much of this season, and that has obviously increased the difficulty for the Cougar offense overall. It's going back to Crawford, the pass incomplete, and Golden West forces the quick 3 and out. Cougars will have to kick it away from their own 41, but it's been a shrinking pool of receivers for Giselle Riley.
Yeah, for Riley,
I thought made it a little more difficult.
I thought that throw was there. I thought the route and the recognition by the ball being where it needed to be was off by the receiver.
Short kick from strike, and Schmidt able to take it on the bounce, find some running room into Cougar territory, and he will be angled out of bounds inside the 40, but Schmidt picks up a good 30 yards on the heady/dangerous play of taking that ball on the bounce, but the sure-handed Tanner Schmidt with a big return will set up the Rustlers with a short field.
Jeff, you talked about earlier Schmidt playing a huge role last week, shutting the door on Cerritos on an incredible conversion late in the game after he took a huge hit. Just speaks to the caliber of player, how tough that guy is, and really speaks to the theme of this team. This is a tough unit. Coach Mitchell's really done a great job.
Yeah. Up to 31 receptions coming into action today for Schmidt, and a little under 22 yards a reception. So he has been a big play threat, lines up in the slot on the right side. First down carry, Mitchell breaks a tackle at the line. Into the Canyon secondary, has a first down. McIntosh eventually brings him down. But Mitchell immediately moves the chains, 15 yards on the run for the sophomore Aaron Mitchell.
That's a read option there, and Oa does a great job of leaving it with Mitchell instead of pulling it.
Yeah, once he rips through that tackle at the line, Mitchell finds running room, takes it down to the 19. Rustlers back in the red zone. Pass on the far side complete. Down to the 14, about 5 yards on the reception. Going to Nate Durant, and the freshman with his first catch today. And nice grab from Durant. Second and 4 for the Rustlers. Another trip into the red zone. Touchdown and a field goal so far. Snap to Oa. The give to Mitchell on the right side. Inside the 10. Appears to have enough for the first down. Good downhill running from Aaron Mitchell. Launching on the right side. And again, following Tuatasi and Walker pulling to that right side. First and goal from the Canyons 8. Pistol formation, Kendrick Thomas on in the backfield. The give to Thomas. Straight ahead. A gain of perhaps a couple. Bryant with the tackle. They'll spot it at the 6. Rustlers not in a big hurry. 4:19 and counting remaining in the first half, and Golden West looking to extend on a 16-point lead. The throw to Schmidt, tiptoeing the sideline in for the touchdown. Schmidt had a couple of touchdowns a week ago. He's back in the end zone again. 6-yard touchdown reception, and the Rustlers do extend the lead. Just beating Mortensen.
I mean, Jeff, that's just crisp offense. Owa does a great job of just getting the ball out. It's pitch and catch. Schmidt gets in relatively easily.
Well, the Rustlers so adept running the football with that quartet of terrific backs that they have, and you have to be concerned with that. Schmidt runs a great route. Owa delivers another strike, the extra point up and good. 4:06 remaining in the first half, and the Rustlers push the lead to 30-7 on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Golden West on top, 30-7. It's Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. The kick away. Over end kick taken at the 3. Mortensen on the return. Slips on a one tackle at the 15, but brought down shy of the 20. Now the ball pops out. The Rustlers force another turnover. And again, they will have a very short field. Couple of interceptions, and now a massive play on special teams. And I believe it was Kendrick Thomas out there on kick coverage who ends up with that football. Watch the second effort, and the ball pops out. And Thomas in the right spot comes away with it. Third turnover here in the opening half. And for the Rustlers, who have been so opportunistic, now plus 14 turnover differential. And for College of the Canyons, it has been an area that has given themselves some trouble. They are now -7 turnover differential. So some difficulty taking care of the ball for the Cougars, and it has hurt them here in this first half, as the Rustlers can now extend on this lead. They lead at 30-7. They keep it on the ground on first down. Kalen Montgomery with his first carry, and not much doing. Does well to get back to the line. Charles Milner in a group of Cougar tacklers, getting to Montgomery on his first carry. And now a rush of substitutions for the Cougars defensively. Second and goal from the 7. And on in the backfield. Montgomery will stay on, I should say. Schmidt to the right and whistles on the snap.
That timeout.
Now a very late flag comes in.
Too many men.
Well, you saw College of the Canyons trying to get what looked almost to be a whole new defense on the field. Did they do it? Greg Truex, our referee today. And we're watching here and there. So the call is against College of the Canyons. So they'll take it from the 7 inside the 4. Montgomery remains in the backfield. Now it's second and goal for the Rustlers. Snap to Owa. Under pressure and going to be sacked. Trying to rip it out, but Owa holds on to it. And College of the Canyons has done a good job this season getting pressure on the quarterback, and already a couple of sacks here in this first half as they get to Owa back at the 11-yard line, where it'll be third and goal. But 21 sacks as a team coming into action today through the first 8 weeks. And we've seen them able to get pressure once again. This time, Owa has time into the end zone and a touchdown as he finds Daniels.
Jeff, that's a dart. That's just a great read through the progressions there for Owa. And Golden West on the board yet again.
Well, we could talk about the pressure they get, but this Rustler offensive line has also had a great year, and that time they win the battle decidedly all kinds of time. For Oa and Daniels deep in the end zone. Eventually works his way free. The extra point good. And after Canyons momentarily got themselves back within a touchdown, 23 unanswered for Golden West. They now lead at 37-7 late first half here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. You know, in a way, as is often the case, this is a bit of a microcosm of the entire season for Golden West. We were talking during the break about how this one was very much in doubt for a few minutes. Back early stages, second quarter, Canyons does a good job after getting punched in the mouth early with a couple of touchdowns, coming back 14-7. You're back in the game. But this is the struggle going against Golden West. You get back into it for a moment, and then here comes another big play. And they make that huge play. The interception by Rogers really changed the momentum again. And when the Cougars were on the move, instead, they get it back at the 1 yard line, punch it in for the touchdown. Now it's back to 13, and the Rustlers are off to the races. And this is the challenge of going against this team that just has a way of making big plays that completely flip the momentum.
Absolutely. We saw that last week versus Cerritos.
Yep. 2:04 remaining in the first half. And coming on the blitz, and Riley with the eyes in the back of his head somehow gets away. He is tripped up, might go down as a sack. But, Mike, how does he do this?
He knew he was coming.
Coming on the blitz, and I think Mason Driffel there is thinking, man, I'm gonna get a highlight reel hit.
He is licking his chops for
sack
sure.
is coming, and I'm gonna get myself a highlight here. And Riley says, I don't think so, and slips away. Does manage to get back to the line. We're at the 2-minute timeout. 2nd and 10. Upcoming Golden West on top, 37-7. Second and 10. Well, it's not often that you see the avoidance of a sack and no gain on the play as a highlight in the first half. But again, Riley somehow slips away. And it's 2nd and 10. And again, College of the Canyons all 3 timeouts, so a lot of time. Time is not the challenge here moving the football on the Rustler defense. That is the challenge.
Man.
And the good throw and the diving catch is made for a first down. Crawford lays out for the reception.
Now, that's a highlight because that's an absolute dime. Watch the slot that he throws this from, and that's throwing with anticipation.
Yeah, has to get it in between defenders and does. As he finds Crawford out to the 46. Good enough for a first down. They will stop the clock momentarily. Now they'll wind it. 1:37 and counting for College of the Canyons. Trailing it by 30.
Ooh.
And the throw into a crowd. They wanted Crawford, but it was decidedly more black jerseys in the area than white. brings up a 2nd down and 10. And I think Riley, they're lucky that that pass was off the mark, but also I think seeing the defenders as Dreifel was right there. If he puts that ball on the numbers, it's going to go to Mason Dreifel's numbers, and probably to a pick 6. 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Good push on the right side, and a gain of about 8 for Rameau.
I think this is the first time Canyons has been in Golden West territory.
Yeah, the touchdown came on the big play. 3rd and 2 from the Golden West 46, and now whistles come in at a timeout taken. 1:01 remaining in the first half. Golden West on top. It's Rustler football at SoCalCollegeSports.com. Third and 2 for College of the Canyons from the Golden West 46. Canyons 0 of 5 on 3rd down so far today. Play action, deep drop for Riley. Pop flies the near side and the pass incomplete. Looking for Crawford, who had broken off his route, and it brings up a 4th down from the 46. And well, it looks like Ted Iacenta is going to send the punting unit on. Obviously, 55 seconds, that's a lot of time for Golden West to take advantage of a short field if you don't get it.
Exactly right.
So Ted Iacenta going to play for field position. Golden West leading it big. Their final minute first half. Strike. Good kick. Taken back at the 9-yard line. And so for Golden West, will Nick Mitchell be content to not take any chances here? With the Rustlers having it deep in their own territory, 48 seconds remaining.
2 timeouts. I mean,
well, and here's the other side of that. Canyons has all 3 timeouts. If the Rustlers elect to play conservatively, can College of the Canyons potentially use their timeouts, see if they can force a quick 3 and out and come away with potentially good field position. So interesting strategy certainly on both sides. And the Rustlers gonna come out
victory
in a very tight formation indeed. And they're just gonna kneel it, and we'll watch and see if the Cougars are gonna be content to head to the locker room, and it appears that they will be. They'll need to snap it one more time. But again, Canyons, despite having the ability to stop the clock 3 times here, going to elect not to and rather play this one out to halftime. At the break, here from Huntington Beach, and Golden West on top, leading Canyons 37-7 here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Touchdown, Rustlers.
Run. This one hit deep to right field. And it's over the head of Marquez. That's going to score a run.
Touchdown, Rustlers.
And deep to right field, and it's over the head of Marquez. That's going to score a run. Start of the third quarter from Golden West, and the Rustlers leading at 37-7. And the key number in the first half is undoubtedly 3. 3 turnovers forced by the Rustlers, all 3 leading directly 2 touchdowns en route to this 30-point lead. The Rustlers have been stifling defensively, limiting the Cougars to just 3 first downs in the first half. They have not converted on a third down so far today. And for a Rustler team that is no doubt looking ahead to a big matchup next week, it certainly has not affected their play at all today. They continue to be laser focused, and they have the big lead as we start the third quarter. They won the toss, elected to defer, so we will see the Rustler offense first. And Mike, the Rustlers have got it dialed in, obviously, this season, and nothing appears to be slowing them down. En route, they're still perfect on the season. They have the big lead today.
I would expect some backups here in the second half. Maybe not early on here in the second half in the third quarter, but certainly if the score remains the same, you could definitely expect some backups later in this one to keep them healthy and get it all squared away for next week versus Fullerton.
And of course, as always, the running challenge for all of the coaches here in the 3C2A is that necessity to get players who have committed to your program and put in the work, get them the tape that they're looking for, the opportunity to play, as so many players looking obviously to transfer and continue their education first and foremost, but for many as well, looking to continue playing football or whatever sport it may be in the future as well. So this could be an opportunity right now. Still a lot of time left. Here's we're early in the third, and the Rustlers do lead at 37-7. They start with Thomas in the backfield. And the first thing we can point to is a change at quarterback and a big completion down the near side. Thompson gonna take it in for a touchdown as he makes the catch, slips the tackle, and in 2 plays, the Rustlers extend the lead. Second touchdown today for Dom Thompson. 67 yards, and we barely had time to mention that one change that we do see is Noah Banua on at quarterback. Well, how about the first throw from Banua, and it goes for 6.
Man, to the house. Right off the bat.
I tell you, some days you wake up and the birds are singing. For Dom Thompson, at 6'2" and 185 pounds, he's an exciting prospect for this Rustler program. Breaking through with his first couple of touchdowns today, and there you see some of the athleticism. And I wonder if perhaps, Gillette, we could run that back and maybe down at field level, because this is a great individual effort from Thompson as well as we prepare the kickoff. But again, we'll have a look here down level as watch as he makes the catch, but then the strength to bounce off the tackle, keep those feet in bounds, and then win the foot race. 67 yards, and the lead now 44-7 as Noah Banua hooks up with Dom Thompson for the big touchdown pass. Rustlers on to kick it away, and they now lead at 44-7. Again, one of the other themes that we've been talking about today, one of the other stories in this one, is a College of the Canyons team that comes in with a record of 3-5. But those 5 losses have come all to teams that are on their way to the postseason here in 2025. Overall, 32 wins against just 8 losses on the 5 teams that have defeated College of the Canyons this season, and the only team to do it by more than 10 points was Cerritos, who won 34-13 against College of the Canyons. That was back on September 27th. But arguably nobody has been able to do this to College of the Canyons outside of Golden West College, the top-ranked team in the South. in the current rankings, and showing every bit of that here today.
Absolutely.
Quick pitch to the near side. And Camden on the carry. Forced out of bounds. A pickup of a couple, and it leaves a 2nd and 8. And we are working on our main camera shot, trying to stabilize, get that shot back for you. So apologies, as right now we'll shift back and forth, give you a variety of field level looks at the action as again we continue to correct that main shot, get it back for you here shortly. They are working on it. Quick throw and a completion, short gain. Wheeler quickly on the stop with a little help from Clark. Going to Camden, coming out of the backfield. 3-yard gain that leaves a 3rd and 5. Well, Isaiah Rameau, another outstanding back in the SCFA to go against the Rustlers this season. The Rustlers have seen a number of the top backs, in the SCFA this season, and as has been the case with seemingly every other back so far this year, they've done a great job against Rameau in the first half. Rameau 13 yards on 9 carries, so he found very little running room over the first 30 minutes. Mims cannot secure that ball, or it did, but the 4-yard gain leaves a 4th and 1. And again, the Cougars not inclined to gamble from their own 34. And we will see William Strike in the punting unit. And Strike's had a good season, coming in averaging a little over 38 yards a punt. Good pressure and a short kick from Strike. This one off the side of his foot. It'll head out of bounds near midfield. And perhaps the pressure into the field of vision for Strike.
Yeah, it looked like Cruz Wheeler had a beat on it for Golden West.
So the punch is 15 yards, and Golden West will take over in Canyon's territory at the Cougar 49. And we'll no doubt see Banua. Well, we've already seen 4 different backs. Interestingly, we haven't seen Ardoin Morris today. That is the only one of the usual revolving group of backs for Golden West to not get a carry today. Quick throw, and the shoestring catch not made. Looking for Aiden Goodwin. Brings up a 2nd and 10. That's Noah Simmons on in the backfield. He had a carry in the first half.
Yeah, Banua right there just really doesn't step into it.
Yeah, trying to get that ball out so quickly.
Yeah.
But not online, ultimately. Bunch formation on a 2nd and 10. 2 tight ends for the Rustlers. Simmons on the carry, on the trap to the right side. Weaving his way forward. He's inside the Cougar 40 and appears to have enough for a first down.
It's a great job of blocking up front. And see Mitchell read his blockers, picks up the first down.
10 yards for Simmons to the 38. Call it 11 for Noah Simmons, who comes in averaging 4.4 yards a carry on the season. And the Rustlers, who have run the ball exceptionally well this season. We talk so often about the Rustler rush defense for good reason, but the offense as a team over 5 yards a carry, nearly 200 yards a game on the ground. Simmons trying to bounce it to the outside and does. Lowers the shoulder down to the 33. And the speed of Noah Simmons to get to the edge after that play was pretty well strung out. But watch here as he gets around the corner, winning the foot race with Tony Testa, the linebacker for the Cougars, and Simmons picks up 5 yards.
Wonder what the practices look like. Great rushing defense, great rushing offense.
Yeah. I wonder if they get a little heated, as was the case with my 85 Bears way back in the day.
I would imagine.
A little hesitation, and here is Ardwan Morris with his first carry. 4 yards brings up a 3rd and 1 for the Rustlers. So a 3rd and 1 for the Rustlers, who are just 1 of 4 on 3rd down today. Pistol formation. Morris in the deep eye. And it is Morris on the left side. Boy, a good push. Following his left guard, Dylan Bunbury. Cam Shepard over on the left side of that Golden West offensive line. And they've run a little bit more on the right side throughout the year, following it to Atasi and Walker. But it has been a great job overall for the unit. Bunbury mentioned, but also Tyler Smith, who's out there right now as well. And they battled some injuries early, but now getting healthy as we wind down this regular season. Quick pitch to Morris, cuts it back, big hole for Morris. He'll take it in for a touchdown. 25 yards for Ardwan Morris. And the Rustlers continue to pull away.
Well, it's Jeff, this is just a dominant performance up front by the line. You get a seal there, you get a seal there.
Straight off the chalkboard.
That's a fact.
25 yards for Ardwan Morris, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the season. And the Rustlers have hit the half-century mark at 50-7, with the extra point coming. 9:15 remaining in the 3rd, and boy, I'll tell you, it's a crowded field at the top, but this is going to be some kind of challenge for the teams coming up. It'll start next week, certainly. The extra point grazes the upright, but it is through. So 51-7, but starts next week, certainly, with Fullerton. A very good team with just 1 loss on the season entering play there. In action later tonight at Cerritos in a big matchup in the Central.
Yeah, their lone loss versus Ventura.
Yep.
That was a hotly contested game. So we've seen the talent
Yep.
On the Fullerton side. And obviously, that's a program that just does a great job year in, year out.
And then it's on to the playoffs. Presumably, it's on to the postseason one way or another, but it's starting to look like Golden West is going to have an awfully strong case, even if somehow they find a loss in the regular season. And I don't know if I see that coming, but they're perhaps on their way to the playoffs here. Certainly, if they continue to take care of business, they will be. And boy, I don't know what a loss, what a defeat of this team is going to look like, but it is going to be some kind of challenge.
Well, I believe, because I don't know if you were aware of this, but the SCFA has expanded their playoff numbers. I think it's 6 now. So the top 6 getting. The question right now is, are they going to host?
Okay.
So
yeah, I would think so. That pretty much closes the door.
Yeah.
Now it'll be next week. Will certainly be for the outright
top 2 seeds get buys.
Central Conference Championship, and then 3 through 6. So, yeah, I mean, right now they would be squarely in the top 2. Ventura also undefeated. They've got a big matchup getting set to go in about an hour, a little over an hour. They're at Long Beach against a rejuvenated and resurgent Viking team. So that's a tough challenge before they have their own huge matchup in Week 10 against Mount San Antonio College. But 2 undefeated teams in the SCFA, so the Rustlers right now with the inside track to that bye in the first round. And again, Rameau, no running room, swallowed up at the line. Does well just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Trying to twist this one outside, but just have the feeling, you imagine, if you're a ball carrier, that you're going against 20 defenders, not 11.
Yep.
That was Eli Perez stringing that out, wrapping up Rameau. It went down as a loss of 2 and a 2nd and 12. And Riley, play action, looking under pressure, able to evade, and now just heaves it to the near side. Did have a receiver, Mims, in the picture.
It's a good play.
So a 3rd and 12 from Riley, who was under all kinds of pressure from Kakama Kozma. We mentioned Zeph Misa in the 2.5 sacks. The other co-leader in sacks is Kozma, also with 2.5 on the season, and he was looking for 3.5 there, but Riley, a decidedly non-stationary target. Not easy to wrap up. The Rustlers do have a sack today, but content to just get the pressure on Riley, who has to throw it away. 3rd and 12 from the 23. Straight drop, pocket collapsing. And Riley on the run, brought down after a gain of a couple of yards. Perez again on the stop. And one of the things that we haven't talked about much here today is the job the Rustlers have done outside of that huge run by Riley, containing him as a runner. Again, over 400 yards rushing, 8 touchdowns coming in, and he does break the big run, but for the most part, they have contained Riley pretty well outside of that one sensational play. And again, there, Riley trying to slip through and finds very little room as Perez there quickly to hold him short of the first down and bring on the punting unit. Kick away for strike, and a better kick. Taken at the 30. Daniels brought down immediately, perhaps a yard on the return. And Golden West will go to work at the 31. Midway through the third, good punt return coverage by the Cougars. And we'll see Banua, presumably, and the Rustler offense. Well, the question becomes, and I imagine it's going to be yes, and here is my question. Are we going to see Drew Larson? And we are. So the freshman from Iowa City, who's seen very limited action this season, should get some significant run here as he comes on midway through the third for his first series. Snap to Larson and the give straight ahead. Pushing the pile for 6 yards, call it 7. Kalen Montgomery, his second carry today. And a 2nd and 3. Montgomery didn't play a week ago, but has started to see more action here in the second half of the season. But again, in a very crowded backfield. Hard to get a lot of carries. Mitchell, Thomas, Morris, Simmons, now Montgomery. Goes on and on. 8 yards for Montgomery and a 2nd and 2. Cougars crowding the line. They'll go back to Montgomery, running right, in some trouble. And he is cut down in the backfield. It's a great job knifing through. Toihala, the freshman, coming up from his safety spot. And this is a good job in the open field, getting enough of Montgomery to trip him up. Back to the 34. That's a loss of 4 yards. And it brings up a 3rd and 6. Well, for Ted Iacenda, on the other end of the scoreboard, the opportunity is the same. He's got a chance here to work some more players onto the field. Get some players, some reps on the field, some tape to show. Pass complete. Larson
sticks.
Right at the sticks as he finds Joe Hagel. And Hagel with the reception has enough for the first down to the 42. And an opportunity for the Rustlers to run a little more time off the clock. Late third, and one thing I think you could say, a compliment to both teams. Penalties, a non-storyline here today. Both of these teams. The Cougars have been one of the better teams in the 3C2A in terms of not committing penalties. Just over 8 a game, and they have just 2. But the Rustlers, who struggled early, a couple of big numbers in terms of penalties early on in the season. Granted, didn't hurt them on the scoreboard. But they have gotten better and better as the season has gone on in terms of limiting penalties. And Mike, you talked before about how little things can make such a big difference. As the stakes go up, the opponents get tougher over the next few weeks for the Rustlers. And little things like that can easily make a difference. Second down carry and a gain of about 5 to the 46.
So the kicking game, you do have one made field goal.
Yep.
And you said that was the second made field goal of the season?
Yeah, for Zavala. Yeah. Zavala went through a tough stretch.
Yeah, missed extra point earlier today, and then also one that grazed the upright. So obviously something, a point of focus.
Yeah, Max Riggs also 1 of 2 on the season, but it's getting to be a crowded field at that kicker spot, and of course, clearly kicking one of those areas that can have a massive impact on a game. Movement on the defensive line.
Yeah,
Nicholas Tonga.
Sides is the question.
Yeah, Tonga jumping into Tyler Smith. And the call against Tonga. And a 3rd and 6 becomes 3rd and 1, though where they've placed it, I don't know how that's not a first down at the 48. 3rd and inches as Larson operates from the pistol. Montgomery hit behind the line, second effort, but he's not going to get there. That's a great job defensively by the Cougars.
See now, Jeff, that's a read option, and that was an opportunity there.
Yeah, Mylan Walker getting on Montgomery quickly and then showing the strength as Montgomery tried to keep the legs churning but couldn't move the pile.
Well, Larson there just makes the incorrect read. He needs to pull that ball, and it's an easy first down.
So we will see Aaron Stock in the punting unit. Stock had a solid performance a week ago in the win against Cerritos. Over 41 yards a punt in the win. That raising his season average to just under 35 yards a punt. Fair catch signaled for and made. And the Cougars back on offense. 2:43 remaining in the third. But while the field goal kicking remains a question mark, perhaps Aaron Stock rounding into form as this season goes on, as that average climbs off the solid performance a week ago. First down carry, Camden for a couple. Paul Camden.
We hope to be joined by Director of Athletics Danny Johnson here in the second half.
Camden, a freshman out of St. Augustine, Canada. It's not just local recruiting anymore.
No, it's not.
And Camden has struggled every bit as much as Ramo has. Second down, Riley in trouble, hit and sacked. Again, just trying to keep that play alive, but the Rustler defense so fast. And it's Jerome Lilio who is eventually able to track Riley down. And it brings up a 3rd and 10. And obviously for the Rustlers, this is when you love to play defense. The Cougars really in a situation where they have to put the ball in the air. And as the saying goes, you can pin your ears back if you are on that Rustler front seven. Having said that, they'll keep it on the ground with Camden on the left side. Brought down short of the first down marker. Kozma, Jackson Bennett teaming up on the stop. We wind under a minute to go in the third. And we'll see if Danny Johnson makes it over. A lot to talk about for Golden West, and I know he's excited. Obviously, all kinds of success and fun being had here for the Rustler football program this season. But overall, been an exciting year here for Rustler Athletics. Daniels finds a lane at the 30, 25, and ripped down just inside the 20. Another big return. We saw Schmidt with a big return in the first half, and now Daniels gets into the act with a lengthy return that will leave the Rustlers starting this possession in the red zone.
Just not enough air under that kick.
Touchdown saving tackle. On the long return from Daniels, they'll start from the Cougars 17. Well, Golden West has been a big play team on special teams as well. A return touchdown.
There we go.
On the kick return, the read option for Larson. And they do also have a punt return for a touchdown on the season. And that punt return average going to go way up today after good returns from Schmidt and now Daniels.
Jeff, what are we talking about at the end of the last offensive drive for Larson? Made the wrong read. That time he makes the correct one. 7-yard gain on first down, 2nd and 3 when we come back with the start of the fourth quarter. You're watching SCFA football, Golden West. Here from Huntington Beach on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Second and 3 from the 10-yard line of Canyons. The Rustlers on the short field after the 40-yard punt return by David Daniels. Starts this drive at the 17. Montgomery tripped up. Does manage to get forward progress as Mortensen likely saves the touchdown, getting an arm out to trip up Montgomery, but with the forward momentum, Montgomery does get enough for a first down. Bring up a 1st and goal for Golden West. Opening minute, fourth quarter, and the Rustlers on their way to a 9-0 record on the season as they look ahead to a matchup at Fullerton next Saturday. Montgomery remains in the backfield. Larson still at the controls. And might have got some movement, like a hard count from Larson, I should say, sounded like a hard count from Larson. And they will blow the play dead.
Yep.
Let's see if he drew his own team off.
I didn't see anything.
Okay, this one's going to go against Golden West. I think it was on the, trying to get the number there, but I believe
67? They were pointing on that right side of the line.
Yeah. Larson on the read option with a juke at the 10, but can't get past the second wave. Pick up perhaps a yard.
Nimble feet for the freshman from Iowa City.
Yeah, it looked like for Golden West, I want to say it was Makai Sagiao is out there playing left guard right now, and that's interesting because Mackay typically plays on the defensive line. So Mackay Sagiao turning into a two-way player here in this fourth quarter as we watch again Larson on the read option. And credit to the Cougars. Second and goal. Football resting on the Canyons 8. I started to say credit to the Cougars as Montgomery tries to cut it back, but brought down by a wave of Canyon defenders after a gain of 2 yards. That down 51-7 here early in the fourth quarter, but Mike, they're still getting after it. There's no quit in this team, and I think, again, that's credit to the terrific job that Ted Iacenda and his staff continue to do with this team that, again, last couple of years, bowl game appearances, a playoff appearance back in 2021, an awful lot of success over the last several years. And we know that well because, of course, at SoCalCollegeSports.com, we worked very closely with College of the Canyons for a number of years. But this is a program that's been up among the best in the SCFA under Ted Iacenda here for several years.
And we expect it to continue after this year. This is a program that, they have players in the NFL.
Montgomery straight ahead, pushing the pile,
down
to the goal line and gets in. Good hard running from Kalen Montgomery from 6 yards out. And the Rustlers, as they have been doing all season, once again in the red zone, able to not just get in, but get in for 6. And second in the SCFA touchdown percentage in the red zone for the season. And once again, this drive starts from the 17, and they're able to punch it in. And credit to that offensive line up front and a good push. And Montgomery churns his legs, moves the pile, and gets in for a 6-yard touchdown run. Extra point is good. 12:49 remaining in the ball game. Golden West now on top, 58-7. 12:49 remaining in the ball game, and Golden West continues to pull away. And Mike, for a brief moment in the first half, 14-7, but then all Rustlers from that point on, and they have just taken it to another level.
Was it 44 unanswered now?
Yeah. And you can't really say it often enough, but this is the kind of performance that has not been delivered against College of the Canyons, probably for a number of years, but even this year, in a year that sees them with a record of 3-5. But again, that number is somewhat misleading, as they have been in competitive games in all but arguably one. Again, just that Falcon game was a 21-point game, but every other game decided by 10 points or less. 6 of the 8 games decided by less than a touchdown.
Before the end of that last drive, we were talking about, College of the Canyons, a program that gets players to the NFL, to do a great job of recruiting talent, getting players to the 4-year level. Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown.
Yep.
For the Chiefs.
And the Ravens.
Former Cougar. Yes.
All right. Well, since I stopped playing a lot of fantasy football, I don't have the encyclopedic knowledge, though. I do still know where everybody played in the 80s. That's a useful bit of information right there. That's something that you're really going to use every day. 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard completion. I can't help it, Mike. It's what I remember.
It's great, like Goat Hill Tavern type of conversation starters.
They'll spread it out with 4 receivers. And we do have a change at quarterback.
Yep.
And we'll see Braden Luediker, freshman from Mission, Texas. And this will be noteworthy, as Giselle Riley has seen the vast majority of the snaps at quarterback. So Luediker gets a chance here, and indeed, as we check the numbers, 1 of 1 on the season, appearing in his 4th game. So just 1 pass thrown for 5 yards, but an opportunity here for Luediker, and some good experience for Luediker, because this will be one of the tougher defenses that you see. 3rd and 5, they bring the blitz. Luediker on the run, looking downfield now, heaves and completes.
Wow.
Luediker finds Jamar Adams, and Adams coming off a breakout performance in the victory over Orange Coast last week. 5 catches for 125 yards and a touchdown in the win. That's the first catch for Adams today, and it takes it into Golden West territory.
For only the 2nd time today. That's a dime.
Yep.
You
The presence to move out of the pocket.
Get out on the run. Finds a man downfield. Big chunk play down to the 40.
Not an easy throw on the run, certainly, as Adams takes it all the way to the Golden West 40. Dual setbacks. Read option. Luediker straight ahead in a gain of about 3. Brought down by Pearson Sapiga.
I think he misreads that one. I thought Jesse Lepore had a lot of green in front of him.
Leaves a 2nd and 8. Under 10 minutes to go. So we should remind everyone that the plan right now, obviously with Golden West, certainly not only due for a postseason appearance, but almost certainly a game or more here at home. And of course, we will continue to have that for you on SoCal College Sports.
The question is, what week will it be? So the way it works is, I believe it's 6 teams in the SCFA playoff this year. Top 2 seeds will get a bye. If that's the case, there is a bye week after the finale of the regular season. So after next week, the 15th, I don't believe there's going to be any football anyway outside of maybe some bowl games. After that, there is the first round, and then I believe it's the 29th. The 29th
is the semifinals.
If they win out, Golden West would host here on the 29th.
Which would be the semifinals, and then the 6th
correct
would be the SCFA championship. Back to Adams, has the catch, another first down.
So, I mean, nothing written in stone right now.
Yep.
You know, there could be a situation where Cerritos, say they upset Fullerton tonight. If that happens, what would happen next week is, I don't know if it matters if Golden West wins or loses. I think they still go in as a top 2 seed.
Yeah, you look around and there's, in the South, El Camino and Saddleback still 5-0. There's a number of teams still vying, and Mount Sac and Ventura in the north, and so some big matchups still to happen here, and the playoff picture still decidedly opaque, shall we say.
Yeah. Tonight, big matchup at Saddleback Southwestern. Comes into town, a resurgent Jaguar
El Camino
team.
Riverside tonight.
Yep.
And then I believe Saddleback and Southwestern is going right now. We can check that score. But that game, I believe, is going right now. As Mike goes to the phone. I knew you would. 2nd and 7, meanwhile, as Luediker has the Cougars on the move. Arguably the best offensive drive for College of the Canyons. Completion close to another first down as Luediker finds Gregory Stagnaro. And the freshman receiver out of Sherman Oaks has the catch. brought down by Garrett Goode, but not before. He has the first down. They take it to the Golden West 11.
And we do have a score update from Saddleback, 21-7. Saddleback on top.
And after Southwestern took an early lead in that one, 7-0.
Oh, wow.
Tipped and caught for a touchdown. Stagnaro off the deflection has the reception, and Ludiker on a throw that for a split second, Mike, I would bet he wanted back. When he lets this ball go, I think he knows this is not a throw he wants to make.
Well, the cardinal rule in football is do not throw back to the middle of the field late. He does it, a fortuitous tip, winds up in the hand of a receiver for the Cougars, and they're on the board for the second time today.
Yeah, off the hands of Eli Perez.
61.
And for College of the Canyons, breaks today have been few and far between. Justin Asadi on for the extra point, puts it through. 7:08 remaining in the game, and Golden West on top 58-14 on SoCalCollegeSports.com. .08 remaining in the fourth, and very pleased to be joined by Golden West College Athletic Director Danny Johnson. And Danny, we've been having a lot of fun talking about the Rustlers, the football program first and foremost here today. Another dominating performance. Meanwhile, Daniels, another big return out near midfield. So the Rustlers continue in all phases, another big return, and they'll have a relatively short field. But Danny, we've talked a lot, and we do week after week, about Nick Mitchell and the job that he does with this football program year after year, and the heights that he's taken this program to now over the last couple of years. Talk a little bit about the experience of working with Nick and this program in the relationship that you guys have.
Definitely, I've been at Golden West since 2004, and it's been a really, really good pleasure working with Nick. He came on board in 2008 with us, but it's all about culture, and Nick has definitely established a great culture within the programs, and kind of fits in with our Golden West athletic department as well. We really emphasize academics as well as culture of getting into the program, as well as getting kids in and out of our institution, truly utilizing us as a stepping stone onto the university in the next level. And I think that kind of yields us a little bit better of a student athlete when they come here, because they know that they're not stuck at the junior college level, that we're looking to promote them and get them on and give them a four-year degree as well as playing at the next level.
Yeah, when we watch the football here, and of course we've had an opportunity to talk with Nick and a lot of coaches in the 3C2A, and I know that is something that they take very seriously, and that to their credit, they view that as their job, that's what they're doing to help these young men through this period in their life and get them ready for that next step. But Nick just seems like such a great teacher. We see it, on the football field and the way he's able to coach his teams and get them ready to play. But is that also the case in your experience about off the field and getting them ready for that next step?
Right. It's all about excellence in the classrooms, excellence, in our team room meetings. His structure with his coaching staff is all indicative of, what we're seeing here now. He's spent over the past decade or so establishing his coaching staff, and we do have turnover, but once he has established what those positions are and who we need to fill it with, we don't just look for anybody. We look for somebody that fits that mold and works within the system. Nick does a really good job just demanding excellence from his coaches as well as the players, whether it's in the classroom are out on the field day in and day out with practice.
Well, of course, obviously in our coverage, we're here on Saturday and talking about the football team, and this is what we get to see. But you obviously have a wider lens that what you're looking at here is more than one program at the school. And I know that this has been a really exciting year, and one of the other teams that we do talk about a lot in our coverage covering some of the championship events is the great success in the water polo program they've had. But well, let's talk a little bit about the water polo program and how that is going. But we want to talk a little bit more about the athletic program overall because there's a lot of success.
Right. Definitely as we enter our playoff season of the fall, our men's water polo team is the #1 team in the state. I think our record right now is 27-2. Our 2 losses come from university or 4-year programs and not from the junior college level. We're going on our 9th consecutive state championship run here. Under the tutelage of Scott Taylor, the head coach, along with we have men's soccer, who's second in conference right now, as well as top 12 program in Southern California. Women's soccer is top 8. Women's cross country just had a runner qualify for the state championship or the regional championships as well. So it's been all in all a really, really good and successful fall as we continue to push through getting into that November period of time where we enter the championships.
And the Rustlers, meanwhile, trouble on the snap, and this ball's still loose. They will pick it up and just have to eat it and take the loss. So Cougars will take over with 4:10 remaining, and they will have it in Golden West territory at the 43. Well, I think one of the exciting things that's happening, and I think one of the fascinating things happening, is the emergence of another sport for you to work on there. And we're talking about women's flag football. And talk a little bit about how that comes about and the challenge. This isn't just a long-running program that you simply continue along, but this is something that maybe starts at ground level and you have to build it. So talk a little bit about the challenge of that.
This is a very exciting time, especially for women's flag. It kind of reminds me of the time when we were adding beach volleyball or sand volleyball, what it was called back, I think it was like 2008-ish. It did start at the junior college and community college level because we're able to kind of build those programs within our community. We have a lot of colleges local to our area, so there is some competition right off the bat that we could play with. We brought in a head coach, TJ Fenton. He's also a club coach in the area with the OC Bolts, and so that is the #1 team in the nation for the high school girls program, and so we're really excited to bring him on board as our head coach of the new program. We're looking forward to our inaugural season this upcoming spring. We're treating it kind of as a club season because it won't count as anyone's eligibility. We're really excited on how it's not a true 3C2A sport yet, and that we're able to kind of format and form a women's college flag football program the way we want it.
Well, before I press you guys to make pickleball another sport that you guys play, let's stay a little bit with flag football. Talk about how it's been received by the students overall and the turnout. What's the level of excitement in terms of people coming out and wanting to be part of the program?
It's really amazing to see when you add a women's sport and the excitement here on campus between the faculty and the staff, but as well as the student athletes. There's so many student athletes that weren't able to actually play this in high school because it's just an emerging sport at high school. It was named about 3 years ago. So many of our student athletes didn't really have that opportunity at that level at that time. So as we're going through the recruitment phase now of bringing student athletes in for next year, it's really interesting to see the excitement of the recruits coming in, but as well as our current student athletes really wanting to get out there and play the sport in their off season.
Yep.
And so we're looking at a handful of dual athletes, dual sport athletes come out and participate. Mainly we were seeing a lot of women's soccer players.
I was just about to ask, where are they generally coming from?
Yeah.
That's often the one that you would expect to see.
It's a running sport, so obviously they got to use their hands now. So we'll
Yep.
see how that turns out. But
Well, we do a little bit of work for the Women's Football Alliance. Now that's tackle football that they're playing there, but also there are a number of athletes who are drawn to that from basketball, which I think is interesting, which also in some of our coverage we're seeing some of the male basketball players also making the switch sometimes to football as well. But I wonder if that's a case where we'll see sometimes as well, because sometimes there is some surprising crossover.
Right, and we're looking at the CIF participation levels right now and making sure that what sports are being dropped off a little bit, but we're also student athletes are actually being single sport athletes in women's flag. So it's really interesting to see how the emergence of the sport has really changed the dynamics of high school. And that's what we truly do watch and focus on here at the junior college level in California, because that is who feeds our population. And obviously being a beach city school, being here in Huntington Beach, we are a destination. And so it's awesome to be located so close to the beach, where we do have a student athlete population who is from out of state or out of country that want to come to California and Golden West College to participate in athletics.
Yeah, a nice little built-in advantage to have sometimes when we're talking to the coaches, that there's some things that you don't really have to sell too much when you can offer this.
Look at this footage right now. We're November 1st and 80 degrees. You can't really beat that.
So, again, while we're talking about the emergence and the plan here, so this season there is going to be an abbreviated schedule, a full schedule, but it's going to be more or less a club kind of, not an exhibition, but
no,
not
it will
considered.
It will be a full schedule.
Okay.
As the sport is not recognized yet by the 3C2A, which is our governing body. You're able to participate in any realm that you would like to participate in, and so we are playing a full competitive schedule this coming spring. And we're being mindful of how it looks and being in the club atmosphere, because we really want these girls to not lose participation, as it's truly not a NC2A sport yet.
Okay.
And so we're very mindful of what we need to do on our end to make sure that we're providing the girls with the most opportunity to play this and continue playing this as it becomes so popular, especially amongst Southern California.
Well, football's a beast. There's no stopping it. Once it gets going. It's just its popularity kind of eats everything around it seems, and it doesn't seem to be going away. But obviously it's very exciting. I mean, it's fun to think about, and the opportunity for players who maybe didn't have that specific opportunity to play a game that maybe they've loved.
Right. No, and I think one of the neatest things about it too is as we get into the sport. Hold on here.
Do have some flags down at the tail end of the play. We're down to 1:17 remaining in this one, and Golden West leading at 58-14. Again, talking with Golden West College Athletic Director Danny Johnson.
Yeah, like I was saying about women's flag football, the sport is roughly 45 minutes to an hour for the game of the contest, and so being able to parlay that in like a three-way series really drives the excitement and the fan involvement to the sport. So.
Well, listen, in the spring, we're available. I'm just saying. Okay. Well,
love to have you guys out here for our contest. I think it's great.
We're around. We're in the area.
You do a phenomenal job right now with our football program, so we're really excited to how we can leverage that across all of our sports.
And we do appreciate that. So much fun to be here. So let's talk a little bit more overall. We've covered some of the sports, but just an overall assessment coming up. Anything exciting in terms of projects or anything new coming on the scene for the athletic programs overall?
We're in a little bit of a situation right now where we have a couple of our buildings put up for a state-funded measure, where we're looking at to do some building and hopefully go out for potentially a bond in a few years, where we can enhance and upgrade our athletic facilities. So we've been skipped a couple times, and a lot of our facilities are very niche in nature, and we're excited about this upcoming 2-3 years here, where we have the opportunity to really enhance our surrounding and build some athletic venues that will really appreciate and take character within Huntington Beach.
And overall, if there's a way, and it's not necessarily monetarily or anything like that, but if there's a way, we have people obviously who are connected to the program, who watch, who will see this, and they want to support Golden West College Athletics. Is there a way typically for them to do that?
Definitely. We do a lot of that work through our foundation. Our foundation has something set up through E-Team Sponsor, who does our team sponsorships, as well as we run annual golf tournaments through baseball and with football. We're going to bring that back in a year or so. We'll see all those events, but we like to have it culture-based, right, where we're bringing people back onto campus to be part with our athletic department as well as our athletic coaches, so they really feel connected to our program.
And is the best way typically through the Golden West College Athletics website to learn about anything that might be coming up?
100%. It's all through gwcathletics.com.
Final score here from Huntington Beach, 58-14. The Rustlers impressive again. They move to 9-0 on the season, and they will go back to work and get ready to finish out the regular season next Saturday. That'll be at Fullerton, and then we will look ahead to the playoff bracket and see how it all shakes out. Danny Johnson, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate having you on. Obviously a lot to be excited about here at Golden West College, so it's fun times here for the Rustlers.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
That'll wrap up our coverage here from Huntington Beach. Again, Golden West 58-14. They move to 9-0 on the season. Thanks so much for joining us. So long, everybody.